Hi there everybody, today we are looking at bearings, three-figure bearings, alright? So we're going to go through the basics of what a bearing is, and then we're going to look at some kind of questions based on this. And there are elements of other lessons that you need to be aware of when thinking about three-figure bearings, but I'll touch upon those as we progress through this. Alright, so bearings are used specifically to tell someone what direction they are going in, alright? And essentially the reason we choose a bearing is that it doesn't matter where you are or what situation you are currently in, a bearing is about north, all right? So if I said to you, you're going on a bearing, as soon as I say the word bearing, then realise that it's in relation to north, and that will give you a clear idea in terms of the direction you are going, all right, and to anybody, anywhere. All right, so the angle starts at north and moves around in a clockwise direction. Again, that is quite important. The fact it's from north, clockwise, okay? They're called three-figure bearings because they're also given as 3 figures long, all right? So you have to have 3 figures as part of it. So if I said to you you're going to bearing 020, it's 20 degrees from north clockwise, all right? And I have to put the 0 in front of it, and the reason they put the 0 in front of it is that if you're on a radio transmitter and you're trying to give a 3-figure bearing, they expect 3 figures to be heard. Therefore, if they don't hear 3 figures, then they would assume the communication has gone down, okay? So if the angle is less than 100, then you put 0 in front, all right? So to find the bearing of A to B, right, and again, this is about terminology and being careful with the words. This is A to B, all right? Not A from B, A to B, all right? So I'm going from there to there. So again, so you can see the arrow from there, all right? So step 1, face north. There's the north line, so I need to put that in, and again, often that is the case. You probably need to put that little line in there, and it's this angle that you need to measure from north. All right, so I'll take my compass, protractor if I was measuring it, and I'll measure that angle there, and I would say to the person, right, the bearing of A to B is 061. All right, 061. I'm going on a bearing of 061. All right, 61 degrees from north, essentially, but of course 3 figures. Okay, right, so southeast. Well, I'm hoping you know your compass points. So you've obviously got north, south, east and west. Never eat shredded wheat, never ever support Wimbledon. No, I'm only kidding. So southeast, where is southeast in terms of the direction? So north is at the top and southeast is in that direction. So never eat shredded wheat. All right, so southeast is down here. And I want the bearing. Well, the bearing of east is exactly 90 degrees, so 090, if I write that properly. And then this is halfway down here from here. All right, well, if I think about right angles, they're all 90 degrees. Well, this is a half of a right angle, so it's going to be 45 degrees plus the 90. All right, so if I get the angle there, so they can see it. So I've got 90 degrees, which is east, or 090, and then add the 45 degrees to it, so it's going to be 135 degrees bearing southeast. West, so west is looking like that. All right, so very, very tempted to say, well, it's that angle there, but of course it's not, because we are talking clockwise, so I'm going all the way around there. All right, all the way around there. Well, so if we go 90 degrees, another 90 degrees, and another 90 degrees, all the way around there, that's going to give me 270 degrees. It's a bearing of 270. All right, west. All right, and again, the idea of thinking, well, telling someone they're traveling west, it's a bearing of 270. And as soon as you say a bearing, they'll understand that it's north, clockwise, and all the way around. Right, so write down the bearing of A from B. From B. All right, so again, this is slight terminology wording. So I'm going B to A, aren't I? Yeah, so just be careful of the words here. I'm going from B to A, so it's A from B. All right, so yeah, it's little words here and there, because it does make a difference. So I'm not going A to B, I'm going A from B, so B to A. So that one, you see where the arrow is there. And you're given this angle at the bottom. Well, if this is a straight line all the way down, then angles on a straight line, and again, that's another lesson that you might want to look at. Angles on a straight line add up to 180. So therefore, this here needs to be 130. All right, so bearing 130 degrees. What about B to A? All right, so here you've got 65 degrees angle, which is given from north, so you're given this one around here, but I'm going from B to A. All right, so from north, clockwise, that's this one all the way around here, all the way around there, right around the outside. Okay, and because it's right around the outside, then it's going to be, because the whole lot is a circle, you can see it already here, so angles around a point out to 360, so that's another lesson. So angles around a point all the way around to 360, so it's 360, take away that 65, it's going to give you this one right around the outside there, isn't it? So that's going to be 295 degrees bearing. All right, right, that's it in terms of bearing. I would strongly recommend you practice this one. All right, so there's a few components in relation to this which you might kind of trip you up. All right, first of all, obviously it's a north line of bearing. You'll notice that what's kind of coming into play is a number of things about angles on straight lines, angles around a point, and when I've seen a bunch of exam questions, I've also seen questions where you talk about angles in parallel lines. Because if I put another north line here, which I'm not at the minute, but I put north line there, and I wanted to work out that angle, then we would now be talking about co-interior angles. So other rules start to kind of come into play when dealing with bearings. So this kind of thing you probably will need to practice an awful lot more, because it's not just about the bearing itself. It's about angles in parallel lines. It's about potentially triangles that might be formed. So it might be trigonometry, it might be Pythagoras, it might be a variety of different things included, all wrapped up in this umbrella of bearings. Okay, and it's not actually. It's a bunch of other kind of skills. So there's very different elements in terms of bearings that you need to focus on. Okay, well, that's it in terms of me for bearings. So please look at maths-school.co.uk for some practice questions on bearings themselves. But like I said, there's a variety of other areas that you need to focus on as well as this. All right, well, thanks for listening.